Call me X for short. Whatever you choose. Just don't call me a pony. But nah, 37. Been gaming for well over 20 years. PC gaming is my number one. Then Xbox, then Switch, and then PlayStation. But other than that, I tend to game on just about everything. But yeah, you're
Uh,
next.
how long have you been gaming? Just for those who think that you might just have crawled out of some sewer and decide you want to just slap the gamer title on you.
Yeah, well, like I said, well over 20 years. I'm 37 now, so probably 25, 26 years of just gaming with the Nintendo first. Yeah, I don't play just about all of them. Nintendo. Hell, I even had the Virtual Boy. If you, I don't
Wow,
think I told you
actually,
that.
oh my god,
The
oh my
little
god, I
red
remember you saying
thing
that.
with the with
Yes.
the. Yep, I cried
Oh
and begged my
man,
mother for it, and she finally got it, and I played it. I think the game I had was a Wario game, Wario Tennis or something, and it was everything was red and black, and I got dizzy, and I said, "Yeah, I'm done."
I remember seeing that thing in Toys R Us. I think it was Kids World
Uh-huh.
out in Elizabeth, and I looked into it. I think what game was it? Was it WarioWare? It might have been.
Hmm.
And I saw everything just red and black. I'm like, what in
Just
the
red and black.
world?
Yeah.
Who wants this? Who would want this?
Well, I had it. Believe it or not, I don't think I ever told you I had it. Yes.
20 plus years.
20 plus
Things you find
years.
out.
Yes. I had the Virtual Boy. A little stupid stand. I played it once and that was it. So yeah, we're done here.
That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so call me
Yeah,
Maverick. I am the co-host.
get your focus
The,
going.
yeah, I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
get the focus back. It's
Mm-hmm.
getting all crazy up in here. Um, 37 years old as well. My focus is still going crazy. This camera's
Focus is
looking kind of
mad
out the
crazy.
window. Yeah.
Wow.
Um, been gaming for as long as I can remember. Quite literally, the first
Mm-hmm.
was the original Nintendo.
All right.
You know, I remember playing Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, Contra
Mm-hmm.
with my pops, and we stayed up all night, Contra code and everything.
Mm.
Stayed up
All night.
all night until we beat that game. That was
Damn.
that was probably one of my best memories. Like that alone is probably what sold me. That's probably why I still play shooting games now. That's
Right.
probably why I still play a whole bunch of co-op games now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that moment right there. So the Konami code is literally just like branded in my brain. I
Mm.
can't forget it. I'll never forget it. Um, so I've had, I guess you could say I've had a pretty strong lineage with Sega.
All right.
I had the Sega Genesis, I had the Sega Saturn, even when
Mm-hmm.
people didn't even know the thing existed.
All right.
I had the Dreamcast, loved it. Dreamcast is one of my favorite consoles of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it
Good
was only
system.
natural that I would end up getting
Mm-hmm.
an Xbox.
All right.
But
Yeah.
even then, I had a PlayStation. I had a PS2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked my PlayStation, my PS1 and PS2
Rest in
until
peace,
PS2
PS2.
started working.
Best
Rest in
PlayStation
peace,
console.
PS2. Literally the best. It still can't be topped. It
Nah,
still
yeah,
can't be
no.
topped. Like
That
those
was
sales numbers,
console was
still in
just
its running.
mwah. It was a beautiful system.
And we'll get more into that later when we start talking
Mm.
about what's going on with the general state of things. But that's pretty much it for me. Like you can say that we're a couple of Xbox fanboys, but really, I game on my PC like 85% of the time. I'm rarely on my
Mm.
Xbox these days. I have Game Pass. Yes, I still play
Mm-hmm.
Xbox games
Same.
through Game Pass,
Oh
but
yeah.
my PC is like my number one love.
And
So
and that's the thing. So like I said, you about 85, I'm probably 95. My Series X is in the living room and my Series S is behind me and my other TV here along with my PS5. But my PC is right here, dog. Like I want all the bells and whistles right here, man. I
everything.
didn't get the 79 XTX for no reason. It was 64 gigs of RAM. and 24 gigs of VRAM for my graphics card for no dang on reason. It's just I want all the bells and whistles. I want the best. If it's not the best, it
Right.
stays with the rest. So that's just what I say. But
Right.
oh good.
And when you really like put those things together, that's the kind of leap that we're seeing a lot of people make these days, where it's like, yeah, I could get a console,
Hmm.
or if I have a PC laying around, I could upgrade it,
Yeah,
and then by upgrading that PC, I might get console quality, if not better.
yeah.
So we're seeing that transition of people going from console to PC more often than not,
Hmm.
and we see business strategies kind of like shift to meet that demand.
Right. And you upgrade your PC at a time, unless you have the funds. I told a friend last week, if you want to go ahead and upgrade your PC, buy a PC for their daughter. Yeah, sure. And they say, oh, I want to spend $1 bazillion. You don't have to do all
You
that
don't
at
have
once. You don't have to do all that at once. I did recommend get the graphics card first, because once you get that expensive thing out the way, everything else is just cheap.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you get the CPU afterwards for what $300, and you get RAM for what 60, $80,
Especially with the cost
SSD.
of graphics cards
Yeah.
these days.
Oh God. No, 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 no,
We
no,
don't
no.
even have to
I
go
don't. I
into
don't
it.
want to
We
go
can
into
we
that
can
right
we
now.
can proceed.
Not on the first one. Maybe the second episode, but we're not going to talk about that yet. Let's not get into Team Green and Team Red. But other than
Yeah,
that, upgrade your PC, people. Upgrade one at a time. You don't have to buy it all at the same time. And it's easy to build it. Even just look on YouTube, how to build a PC. Type it in, bam, boom. Watch
I
it.
mean, I would tell people, have you
Yeah,
built a Lego set before?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, building a PC is kind of like that,
There you
except
go.
easier. Everything only goes in one place.
That's right. If it doesn't go there, that means it doesn't go there.
Now, I've heard of people doing crazy nonsense like, "Oh, I put my RAM in backwards," which
Oof.
isn't supposed to be able to
No, you're
happen,
not
but
supposed to
it
do
happens.
that. You're not supposed to
Not
do that.
supposed to be able to do that.
You're not supposed to do that. Whew. So about this Power World, man. What's going on with this, man?
Power Word is breaking the internet, but
It's destroying the internet, man.
before we even get to that, and I do want to get to that because
Mm-hmm.
that is just such ugh, there's just so much there.
Yeah.
But before we even get to that, we gotta talk about what
Oh yeah.
like the big news is going on with Xbox right
Mm-hmm.
now, and that unfortunately is the layoffs.
Yeah.
So the Xbox gaming division has laid off like 1,900 employees
Right.
across Activision, Blizzard, ZeniMax.
Yeah.
We got a few studios that were hit as a result of this.
Right.
So
And
I,
layoffs is terrible. You don't want
it's
nobody to
it's
be
terrible.
laid off or whatever. This is people's livelihoods. You know what I mean? This is
Hmm.
how people eat, how they pay their rent, how they have entertainment to enjoy one another with their family and friends or their loved ones. Being laid off, you lose your benefits and stuff. You might get
Right.
severance for a couple of months, but what happens if you can't find anything else in that couple of months? Especially the gaming community, everybody is laying everybody off. Riot Gaming and Brayson Studios. You try to
Hmm.
go to this studio, but guess what? They just laid somebody off. So how am I going to get a job over there if I just got laid off from this gaming studio?
Right, and we're coming off the layoffs from 2013 from 2023 as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a huge amount of layoffs, especially towards the end of the year. Once we got towards the holiday season, we didn't just have layoffs; we had studios being closed
Oh
down.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that clutters up the market even more. There are so many essentially free agents out there who are desperately looking for work,
Yeah.
and they can't find any.
Yeah.
So
So
there's a few people I don't want to be in this situation. I don't
mm-hmm.
want to be the person who had to make the call
Mm-hmm.
that said that we need to lay people off.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person who had to deliver the message
Mm-hmm.
that says, "Hey, we unfortunately have to let you go." And I definitely don't want to be the person who got laid off.
Oh yeah. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to be the manager to tell them. I don't want to be the mail boy that tells them. I don't want the person that get hit with it. I bid in once. I don't want to be there again ever again. So
Right.
I feel for the people, and I'm deeply hurt for the ones that have been laid off. This it's not cool, man. But I do hope and pray that they do find something extremely quick with somebody, anybody. If it's with
Anybody.
Sony, whoever, Naughty Dog, Nintendo, I hope they find somebody or create your own studio if you have the funds or the ability to do it, and use their incredible talents to join forces and make something shake. But just hopefully they get back on their feet, man.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, though, this is become a thing that on Twitter, some select people are trying to use
Um,
this as a way to dunk on. Excuse me, trying to dunk on Microsoft and Xbox, saying, "Oh, look at what they're doing. They're such a horrible company." When the maker of the plastic box that they're supporting did the
it's
same
ridiculous.
thing.
Ridiculous. Why did you lose? Why use somebody's job loss for a console war?
Seriously,
Seriously?
seriously. Like, do you stop for anything if
Like,
that's really what you do? But then again, these are the same fools that were console warring on Christmas. So I guess we can't really expect too much from them.
yeah, no, you really can't. But let's not use people's losing their job and their benefits
No,
and not being able to pay rent next month or whatever the case may be for your console war. Do better. Be better than that.
seriously.
You know.
So so we got an article here penned by Samuel Torbett over at Windows Central.
Mm,
Microsoft was laying off 1,900 employees from its gaming teams. In an email to employees that was shared with Windows Central via an anonymous source,
mm,
Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer wrote that 1,900 jobs out of an existing 22,000 were being cut in order to set a sustainable cost structure. And we have the full email below. I'm not going to go through, but I will read the first paragraph. It's been a little over 3 months since Activision Blizzard and King Teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business.
mm,
Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensure that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth.
mm.
So, while we also have to be sympathetic towards the people who
Of
have lost
course.
their job, we also have to be kind of honest in the sense of these kinds of things happen, especially after a big
Oh yeah.
merger.
Hmm.
It's unfortunate. It's one of the things that happens as a very unfortunate side effect of capitalism, which
Yeah.
I don't like, but that's the world isn't
That's the
based on what
world.
we like and what we
Yeah.
don't like.
Well, no, that's not how the world works. Mm-mm.
So they're saying that they identify areas of overlap. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to pretend to know what that means.
Hmm.
I hope that all I can say is that I hope that at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that people who didn't need to be laid off were
Hmm.
laid off.
Right. But stuff like this kind of do. I mean, of course, to still be sympathetic, but kind of stuff like this do happen because even when Wells Fargo purchased Wachovia,
Oh yeah, there was
there's
a crap ton of people that were laid off.
how many people the same positions from one bank to another bank. I mean, is
Hmm.
you're gonna keep you have all these executives or all these engineers or developers or bankers, etc. There's one point, this is actually down the street a couple of years ago, you had the Wells Fargo, and literally next door was Wachovia. But after Wells Fargo purchased them, they changed that building to Wells Fargo. So it was Wells Fargo, literally right next door to each other. So then they finally shut that down. I think actually like 6 months ago, that they shut that building down and just had just one. I mean, why would you have two there? But again, that's just what happens. You got five HR managers here and five HR managers in this company. Then they both join together. You got 10 HR managers for how many people? It's just a little bit too many managers. I can,
Right.
or whatever the case is. Again, it's just an example, but the overlapping is just how many positions are the same.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to keep the same position over and over if you and somebody's just twirling their thumbs or whatever the case may be. But you know,
And we saw a similar thing happen when Marvel was acquired by Disney as well.
oh
Once
yeah,
that acquisition went through, a lot of creative talent over at Marvel got laid off.
unfortunate. Yeah, oh yeah. Because again, you got as Marvel, you got animators and comic book writers and drawers or whatever. Then you going over to Disney, which is what the kings of that, and with Pixar and
Hmm.
stuff like that. People gonna do the same job, so it happens. It's unfortunate, but we just got to be realistic here. Um,
Right.
because if I have a company like that, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to have three network engineers, and when I buy this company, it's three network engineers, and three can do the job. I'm just paying three extra people.
Hmm.
But like I said, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't movement. It's hurtful for one is for the company, then one is hurtful for the livelihoods of these people. So I mean, I chose the people to be safe, or and have a job. But what can you do? What can you do?
What can you do? So yeah, this is without a doubt, one of the things that it's like I said, like we said, it's unfortunate,
Hmm.
but we can't utilize that to do some petty console war that has absolutely nothing. Like
Yeah,
ugh, it's just
it's
foolishness. Like
disgusting. Like you can't even get it out
your
because it's
opinion,
disgusting.
it's so disgusting. Like your opinions of whichever plastic box you prefer,
Hmm.
it doesn't do any actual harm to somebody. People being laid off, that harms people.
Right.
That harms livelihoods, right?
Hmm.
Don't use someone else's misfortune as like your way to score points.
Or funds.
Yeah, or funds,
Or
because a
funds.
lot of these people are creating videos on this just so that they can farm
If
engagement
I get some
and then try
engagement,
to, yeah, and then
get
try to get paid off the AdSense.
get a check off of Twitter, get a check off of YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and you gonna bring engagement because you're talking about these layoffs and you're making fun about it with console warn. Okay, they don't give a damn because they get money. Maybe they feel bad once they get off live and be like, man, I feel bad about the layoffs. But once they get in front of that camera or get behind that keyboard, they sure don't act like it.
No, they don't. And I don't even give them the ability of being able to like reflect and
Right.
see, you know what? Maybe that was a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was a little too much.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think they care about that. Is money green?
So
That's all they care.
that yeah, that's it. That's it. So next thing is the Odyssey thing.
Hmm.
Xbox and Blizzard canceling the Odyssey game, which I believe was something that Blizzard has been working on for the past six
Oh
years.
yeah,
It
6
was
years.
meant to be the
Hmm.
MMO survival game that was being teased out many, many, many years ago.
Hmm.
Um, we got some of the
Yeah, I
information
heard
on
about
that.
that.
Yeah, we got some of the information on that. They essentially were working with the Unreal Engine, but then they couldn't really utilize the Unreal Engine like that. So they switched off. Some execs at Blizzard said, hey, use the Synapse engine that was being used for mobile games.
Right.
And one of the primary reasons that they switched was because the Unreal Engine wasn't able to support the high player count
Hmm.
that they wanted to use for this game. I think they were talking about supporting like 100 players per
Mm.
server, and the
I wonder
Unreal
what
Engine wasn't
Unreal
able to
Engine they was
support that.
using. What was it, 4?
I don't. I mean, it was 6 years ago, so it
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably four,
3. Right. Three's
maybe.
life end of lifespan of 3 and beginning of
Right.
4. Yeah.
So they tried to switch over to Synapse, but Synapse had its own difficulties to the point that they were prototyping stuff in the Unreal Engine and then trying to import it over to Synapse. That ended up adding a whole bunch of
Yeah.
development
Hmm.
time. And then when Microsoft had acquired Blizzard at
I think,
APK,
hmm,
that studio was hoping that through Microsoft they will be able
to
to
go
go
back
back to
to
using the
Unreal.
Unreal
Yeah.
Engine.
Hmm.
But even with that thought process in mind, they figured, oh well, we won't be able to bring this out to market for at least another like 2 years, optimistically speaking. So
Yeah.
we're talking about a game that was already 6 years in
6
development,
years plus another 2
nowhere
years. Hmm.
plus another 2 years. They had no idea where the actual finish line was, and then they
Hmm.
were hoping to grow the team even further
Hmm.
to try to make that 2 year mark.
Right.
So at that point, there's a couple of things that need to be factored in. So one, you got to think about how much it costs to make the game already.
Hmm.
Between licensing, between tools, between manpower, dev
Right.
hours, all
Right.
that stuff.
Hmm.
You already got that cost in mind. then you got to think about, okay, well, how much is this game going to actually make when it hits market? Yes,
Right.
we know Blizzard tends to make really good games,
Hmm.
but at the same time, is it going to be able to recoup all those costs? And we're talking about an 8, 9,
Yeah,
maybe
8, 9 year
10-year project.
of giving all these salaries within 8 years. Yeah, that's going to be a lot to recoup.
That's going to be a lot to recoup.
Mm,
So the decision was made, and the game was canceled. Now, canceling a work in progress, especially if if it's a passion project,
mm-hmm.
that sucks as well. But at the same time, we have to think we have to think about this. This is gaming industry is a business, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, games have to be profitable. If a game doesn't look like it's going to be profitable during the dev cycle,
Mm-hmm.
you have to weigh the costs
Right.
and think whether or not this is actually going to be something that's worthwhile to the business.
Mm-hmm.
You would an independent studio would also be calculating these risks,
Oh yeah.
and we heard that we saw that with Power World. The
Mm-hmm.
one of the CEOs of Power World talked about the difficulties of making the game,
Oh yeah.
and like we know that those kinds of risks can pay off,
Mm-hmm.
but often they won't. I mean, we saw what happened with Anthem and Bioware. We saw what happened
Mm.
with Gotham Knights
Yeah.
and WB Montreal.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I don't think this is a win that that the game was canceled. I don't think this is a good thing at all.
No.
I do think this was probably the smart thing though,
It
because
probably saved
again,
them another Redfall moment. You
yeah,
know, it probably
yeah,
saved them another
no one
Redfall
needs that.
moment because people was mad that Redfall didn't get canceled, and then wasn't there talks that they said that the studio members hope when Microsoft bought Bethesda that they will hope to cancel this game Redfall, but they didn't.
It Yeah, it was either that or they were hoping that Microsoft would be able to give them extra resources to help
Mm-hmm.
the game come out in a cleaner state,
Yeah.
which it was already too late in development for
Yeah,
them.
it was too late. Yeah, and even Matt Booty was like he wished he would have gave that studio more time and more
Hmm.
resources to help them or whatever. But could have been another Redfall moment. Could have been another Power moment. Just blew up the internet in
Yeah,
mere
but
seconds. Who knows? We don't
but
know.
but we
But
gotta
mm,
we gotta take into consideration though that more often than not, the case with high budget, long developed games,
mm,
they tend to fail more often than they succeed,
yeah,
and yeah, it's a very unfortunate truth of where we are right now. But I feel like the longer a game is in development with what seems to be a bunch of mismanagement issues
mm,
and issues just trying to like get the right prototype or get the right concept or get the
yeah.
right people working on the project, all those things just turn into a bad day.
Oh yeah. And then you being as a coder yourself, you got to correct
Hmm.
other people's codes because not everybody's correct with their codes, or they
Hmm.
did something a longer code, and you probably could have coded it shorter. Then you got to go back and forth and fix it, and that
Yep.
takes time and cost. Yeah, I just spend the whole day just fixing somebody else's code.
Yeah. It happens more often than not. The longer a project goes on, the more technical debt that code base incurs.
Hmm.
And the more technical debt, that means the more people have to go back and try to fix this. And then through that fixing process, they might uncover optimizations or they might
Hmm.
just find useless code.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's
that's true.
absolutely one of those things that, it can't be allowed to drag on for too long.
Right. And then the game being developed, I think is 24 hours technically because you have the American team, and when they go home, the night team will go ahead and pick it up. I'm pretty sure the night team is across the world. That's why you have different game studios across different parts of the globe, so it can continuously be worked on. But then you got to fix something that they did over there, and there's been plenty of times I came into work and night team screwed something up, and I'm like, all right, great, so now we got to fix
Hmm.
it. So it happens.
It happens.
It really does happens. But like I said, it could have been good. It could have been great. It could have been another Redfall moment. We don't know. The game has been completely canceled, unfortunately. So all that 6 years of development time to waste,
Yeah,
which
it is.
sucks. Just sucks.
Which absolutely sucks.
Time, money, people's emotions was put to it. People. probably have some kind of sentimental value doing that. That child was born doing making this game. Who knows what could have
Who
been,
knows?
But it's unfortunate. But
So what? Let's also get one thing straight.
mm.
This is not The Last of Us Factions 2. This is not on that level. Okay? I need people to understand this because for some odd reason, this has also become a thing that people are trying to use to dunk on Xbox.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, they canceled The Last of Us Factions 2. Xbox went crazy. And now this game gets canceled and people are trying to sweep it under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 no. There's a difference between a project that was rumored or rather
Mm-hmm.
teased. It
Right.
wasn't rumored, it was
It
teased.
was
It wasn't
teased.
even
It wasn't even
officially
announced. Yeah.
it wasn't officially announced. It still has a project
You
name.
didn't
It doesn't
go
even
on
have an actual
stage
game
with
title.
Jeff Keighley or whatever and talk about it and say, "Oh, we can't wait for you to show this in years to come." No, they didn't do
And
none of that.
Neil Druckmann said it was the best Last of Us game he had ever played.
Oh yeah, that's great. Oh, this is the best multiplayer game ever. Hmm?
Which is also the same game that Bungie looked at when they got acquired by Sony and said, no, 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 no.
Nah,
This
yeah,
is not ready for market.
Bungie chopped that off.
So
Bungie was like, "Nah, this ain't gonna work, son."
so Project Odyssey and The Last of Us Factions 2, they're not the same. Those are two
Mm-hmm.
different things.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're over here saying this game got canceled and it sucks that it got canceled,
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation people are saying, oh man, thank you, Naughty Dog, for canceling Last of Us Factions
Yeah,
2.
like,
Please keep
huh?
giving us the same thing that we've always gotten. Please don't try anything
Seriously,
new.
this
Like I'm
is.
actually upset because if this project would have lived through, like the Odyssey had actually lived through and had been properly managed from
Mm-hmm.
start to finish, and
Mm-hmm.
probably would have been on its way out by this point,
Mm-hmm.
we would have gotten a completely different survival experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? It would have been something completely different from anything Blizzard has ever offered.
Right.
This could have been a great thing.
Could have been.
So I'm upset because that is something I won't get to play. Now, Naughty Dog saying, "Oh, we had to make the choice between whether we go multiplayer or we keep giving you the same single player game that you
Mm-hmm.
love, and we chose single player. That ain't a
No,
win.
that's not a win.
That's not a
It's not
win.
a win.
That's a loss,
That's definitely not a win. And I think that they just don't know how to make multiplayer games. That's just not their
and
cup of tea.
that's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
fine. Say that.
Hmm.
Say
Just
that.
say that.
Hey,
Look, we
look,
don't know how to make
we're
multiplayer games. Don't
we,
know what the
we
fuck
have
we're
we have
doing.
we have famously made single player games. We have
Hmm.
famously made award winning single player
Right.
games. This is our wheelhouse.
Exactly.
We're not equipped to make a multiplayer game. We're not equipped to make a live service game. That's okay because if anything, after what happened with BioWare, after what happened with Rocksteady,
Hmm.
well, what's happening with Rocksteady, after what
Hmm.
happened with Crystal Dynamics and Marvel's Avengers,
Hmm.
after what happened with WB Montreal, not
Oof.
everybody can make a multiplayer live service
Nah,
game.
not
Hell, even
everybody.
Bungie is struggling. They're considered the kings of the platform.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's okay to recognize your weaknesses and just say, look, that's not us.
Hmm.
That's not us. We can work with another studio as they that is more experienced and
Hmm.
if they want to use the Last of Us IP, we can help them make that game,
Right.
but we're not that studio.
No.
That should
Just
have
say
been
that.
fine.
Just say that.
Just say it.
I
Sorry.
respect you more if you just come out and tell the truth. Look, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm trying to
It is
I'm
what
trying
it
to
is.
put this girl here and that girl and trying to have an online connection and try to shoot each other or something. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Just say
Can't
that.
do it. Just say it.
Just say
Just be
that.
honest and say it.
Or get help from companies that do that.
Yeah.
Get a external help from somebody who. I mean, you got Bungie. You didn't get some help from them,
No,
or they
as
was
far as
just
we're
too damn bad. They just said, "Nah, I gotta go."
as as far as we're aware, Bungie did not offer any resources to help develop that project. They simply looked at it, and this is just based on the news that has come out. They looked
Hmm.
at it and they said, "This game is not. No one's going to play this game. This game is not ready for market.
No.
So go back to the drawing board."
Mm. Yeah, Bungie was like, no.
Which that acquisition was already questionable to begin with. You brought in Bungie to help you oversee
Hmm.
like what was it, 12 live service games that were all being developed
Yeah.
by PlayStation Studios,
Yeah.
and every single PlayStation studio was mostly a single player studio.
And they
You think Insomniac's gonna make a good live service game?
and they're still paying on Bungie, so they got them like on a firm or something like that. So
I think they just recently cleared that up, but
yeah,
yeah, they they
okay.
they did they didn't pay full price when they first got Bungie.
Mm.
Like they were definitely paying in installments.
Installments for a game company is
I never
insane.
It's insane. But at the same time, let's also think about the position that Bungie was in at the time when they got acquired. They were
Yeah.
already missing revenue targets.
Oh yeah.
Like we learned at the end of 2013, at the end of 2023, that they missed their revenue targets by 45%.
Mm.
That's not a
Oh,
studio in good
45%.
45%. That's not
That's
a studio
that's
that's
a big
in
chunk.
good shape.
No,
That's not a
that's
studio
not.
that's in good shape.
That's not.
And Destiny 2 as a game, it's literally in make or break state. Like the final shape has to be an absolute blockbuster. If
Hmm.
it's not, that might spell the end of Destiny 2. There won't be another saga. So it might just be that hey, this game lasted 10 years and that's going to be it. Like after that 10-year point, it's done. We can't
Hmm.
go any further cuz no one's playing it. No one's playing it, no one's spending money. Which shame on you, Bungie, because all the ways that you're dipping into people's pockets, terrible. You got people paying for
Trash.
season passes, and then you do okay. Whew, let's get into
Oh.
this. Let's
Oh.
get into this real quick. So I used
Oh.
to play Destiny, so this bothers me.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that you increase the price of the season pass from $10
Hmm.
to $12,
Hmm.
and then you can't buy the season pass with actual money. You have to get what's called silver to get the currency that you need to buy the season pass.
Okay.
So there's a $5 package, there's a $10 package, there's a $15 package, there's a
Hmm.
$20 package, right?
Hmm.
Here's the problem. They raised the season passes from $10 to $12. There's no silver package for $12. So if you want to buy the season pass, you
Hmm.
gotta spend 15.
Oh, I get that little three extra.
So now you got now
Yeah,
you got
yeah, yeah.
now you got an extra
Hmm.
300.
Mm.
So now that's just sitting there in your account, and you're just like, well, I guess I'll just buy something that I probably didn't
So they would
ever anticipate buying.
purposely give you price it at a different price point. Would give you a certain amount of coins for that, but when they actually release the DLC, it's not enough for that first level. So it was pretty much forcing you to buy the second level
Bingo.
or multiple first ones to be
And
able
yep,
to.
yep.
That's
And
terrible.
mind you, this is after you've already dropped $60 for the expansion because you got to buy the
Hmm.
expansion to experience the yearly
Yeah, yeah,
content.
yeah, yeah.
So you got the expansion at $60. Then you got the four seasons, and they've recently dropped the seasons.
Hmm.
They're calling them episodes now. With the upcoming content.
Okay.
Um, so you gotta spend 60 for the expansion. You gotta pay $12 for each season, so
Hmm.
that's another $48. But then dig this.
Hmm.
So every season or every other season, there's a dungeon that's released and players are allowed to play in.
Hmm.
The dungeon, in order for you to play the dungeon, you have to have the dungeon keys. Gotta have silver for that. That's another $10.
You
And that's like
serious?
two dungeons a year. So that's another $20.
Holy. What?
So you're paying like $122 every year to experience all of the content in Destiny. That's outside of the cosmetics that they put in the store. That's outside of whatever event passes they might throw at you that you
Hmm.
also need to pay money for.
Okay.
Which like at least three or four of them happen every single year. They are ripping people on how much money they take in year over year, and they're still missing revenue targets.
That's yeah. I bet nobody want to buy that crap
No one
and
wants to
do
buy
all
that.
that. That's too much.
That's too much, and it's bad. And already you have to spend so much time in Destiny just to
Hmm.
kind of like go through the season passes and get all the stuff because now they're at the point where they're putting actual power in the season passes. Like you can get exotics from your season pass. You can
Hmm.
get high stat armor from the season pass. So now it's like if you don't have the season pass, you're missing out on potential power. You're missing
Hmm.
out on upgrade materials. So at that point, you may as well just say it's pay to win. It's ridiculous.
Um,
And that's who Sony brought in to
I'm
judge whether
stunned.
or not their live service games were up to snuff.
I'm stunned. But what the heck they gonna do for live service? I mean, I would be happy to bring back SOCOM or something like that. You know, bring some shooting games. What are you gonna do? You can't do Spider-Man as a live service game. You can't do
No, you can't do
you
that.
can't do God of War as a live service game. You can't do your single player games. You literally have to do something something like in a Call of Duty shape or form, or an MMO type of something. You really have to try something completely new. You have to change your way of gaming. Your whole portfolio has to be different. You want to do 12 live service games, but I guess this new game that's coming out, what is it, next week? Helldivers, something like that. I guess is a start.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
being published by Sony, but it's coming out on PC also. So I'm gonna give it a shot and try it out. I'm gonna give it a shot and see how it is. But
It's
hopefully
funny
it's good.
because it's funny because that's causing its
Helldivers
own
2.
bit of stir,
Mm,
considering where we draw the line on exclusives because
mm,
Helldivers being released on PlayStation and not on Xbox Switch, people want to call that a PlayStation exclusive,
mm-hmm,
but but no one
mm-hmm.
wants to say that Starfield is an exclusive. So it's like the same rules apply. Starfield is on Xbox and
They
PC.
don't want to
So
keep the
why
same
would that?
energy. You have to
Yeah,
keep the same energy.
and they
Is
won't, and they won't. They never
is
will.
is PlayStation good? Xbox bad?
That's all it is.
They can literally do the same thing Sony does, and they be like, "Nah, that's terrible, Xbox. What are you doing?"
That's that. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't
How could you?
like it's ridiculous. But again, I don't know. I can't play. I can't have a console and most of your exclusives, if not all of them, is pretty much the same story narrative gaming. I just can't do it. I can play maybe one and give my attention to, but
Hmm.
for every exclusive, I can't do that. I need variety. That's like eating the same food for
Day in
months
day out.
and days and years. You're eating the same type of genre all the damn time. Give me something new, man. Like give
It,
me
it
something
it
new.
wouldn't it wouldn't be so bad if they hadn't also like taken in actual IPs that they already had under their
Hmm.
belt and then changed
Changing
them
them.
to meet like what the portfolio was.
You
Like God of War
changed
is a
beautiful
pure
God of
is a
War.
yeah, God of War is a prime example of this. They didn't just change like how God of War played; they changed the character so
Yeah,
that Kratos could be as deep and philosophical and
yeah.
fatherly as Nathan Drake and Joel. And it's just like, why did you feel the need
Why?
to do that?
Just why?
Why did you feel the need to do that?
It was such a beautiful and fun game back then with combos and different styles, switching weapons, doing all this crazy stuff in the air. Something like a Devil May Cry. But now you got this man walking and throwing an axe, and you could do a couple, like I guess, some combos, but it's not like bam, 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 switch, throw him in the air. All right, switch to this weapon, ba 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 ba, and do another combo and throw him back down on the ground. You don't do
No,
that.
you don't have any of that.
It's
You
like
don't
you
have any
just
kind of like imagine
what did you do? You
imagine
neutered
if
this man.
yeah, imagine if we were playing Devil May Cry and Dante is like walking with like little Nero.
Hmm.
And instead of Dante doing all the crazy combos, going in and out of Devil Trigger, taunting, styling on the demons, no, he's just the camera's always behind his shoulder and he's just shooting and doing basic slashes. No, that's not going to be a fun game. And
You
then even from a storytelling perspective, it's not going to be a great game.
you pretty much went from a god to a peasant of war. It's just what is he doing? It's like what's this man doing? Like kick his ass. You just sitting there trying to talk to him and tell him about his life or wrong choices he made in life. Kick his
That
ass.
moment,
You're the god of war.
that moment when Kratos was talking to Thor about how they need to be better for their kids, I'm like, oh no,
He's the god of
oh
war
no.
versus the god of thunder. Fight. Beat each other's ass. Yeah, of course
It's
he couldn't beat Thor, but Odin had to kill Thor in that game and or whatever. But whatever, man.
it's. I mean, if you like the new God of War, no disrespect to you. Everyone has their
Yeah,
preferences,
if
and
you like
preferences
it,
are
then
really
that's
subjective.
great. I hope
If
I
that's what
hope
you call
people
fun,
enjoy
hey,
it.
have at it. Have at
I
it.
hope people continue to enjoy it. I would say, but if you like it, then I love it. But it's not for me.
It's
I
not.
have it on
No,
my PlayStation. I think I played it for about 2-3 hours, and
I
I was
have.
like,
I
Nah, I'm
have it.
good, Chief.
Matter of fact, I got another perfect example of this.
Hmm.
Ninja Gaiden.
Oh.
Remember what Ninja Gaiden 1 was, what Ninja Gaiden 2 was, and then what
Hmm.
Ninja Gaiden 3 was,
Yeah. Ooh.
right? Ninja Gaiden 3 was like, oh, let's make Hayabusa human.
Yeah.
Let's make him take off his mask and comfort the little girl so that
Hmm.
she sees that he's not a monster, he's not
Yeah.
scary. No.
Let's not talk about Ninja Gaiden 3,
No.
please.
No.
I'm
Like
still
that
upset
game
about Ninja
was
Gaiden 3.
horrible from a story perspective.
Then they try to save it with Reggio's Edge. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of too
And
late,
it's
buddy.
like the whole premise of Hayabusa's journey in Ninja Gaiden was like it's like he was essentially a fiend hunter,
Hmm.
right? In the first game, he was getting his revenge. He was procuring a legendary artifact that his clan was protecting, and he had a whole bunch of twists and turns along the way. In the second game, he was pursuing another legendary demon that he was trying to put down. In the
Hmm.
third game, it's oh my god, I'm killing people relentlessly. Oh no, I feel bad. Oh no, this girl is scared of me because my arm is malformed due to this curse. No, let me show her my face so that she can see that I'm not scary. Why does the CIA know where he is?
I hit
What?
my ninja. Why you got me on speed dial?
They
Why
they flew into the
you
village.
why you sending me mail? Why are you knocking at my door like you're DoorDash or something? Like what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Next thing you know, the whole damn clan is on fire. Yeah, I wonder why. Got a Yane running to y'all. Oh, there you go. Hayabusa's is on fire. Oh shit, Sherlock. You ordered this DoorDash, and now everybody knows where I'm at. all for all for cheesecake or something. It's ridiculous.
Craziness, craziness.
But
So,
Ninja
all right.
Gaiden Black
So
is the king.
Ninja Gaiden Black is by far the
Hmm.
best one in the game. If you've never played Ninja Gaiden before, I am sorry to say to you that the best version is the one you cannot acquire. The best version is Ninja Gaiden Black,
It
and it
is.
is not available for purchase because they quote unquote lost the code.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is backwards compatible.
It is backwards compatible. You
Yeah,
still have the
but if you
disc,
still
or if
have
you
the
can still
disc,
acquire the
yeah,
disc, you can go back and play Ninja Gaiden Black.
yeah.
But if you try to get like the Master Ninja collection, you can't do it. It's not on there.
Yeah,
It's not on there.
yeah. They did say they lost the code and shit. It was the first Ninja Gaiden. They ain't lose no damn code. You just and because they only put only Sigma games on the
Yes, all
mask.
the Sigma
Yeah,
games.
which is the one that was not created by
Tomonobu.
Tobunobu
Yep.
Itagaki. Yeah,
Yep.
I
That,
mean
that
he
it,
created the game, but the other developer, the other
the other producer.
director, yeah,
Yeah.
put his
Yeah.
spin on there. So he just pretty much built off of that. But it wasn't it, Chief.
No,
Mm.
not at all.
But
So, and I do want to get into physical preservation and game preservation and all that stuff. We can
hmm.
save that for another time. But we gotta get to this Power World stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
We gotta get to this Power World stuff.
Power
Power World is absolutely crushing it out here in the internet. Like
fire.
it's it's gotten to the point that people can't even keep up with what Power World is doing.
No.
So I think the last time I checked the numbers,
Hmm.
it was at like
I think it
eight
was 8 million.
million,
Yeah, 8 million.
8 million power tamers
In what, a week?
in a week.
It's ridiculous, bro.
That is
That's freaking
absolutely
ridiculous.
ridiculous. That
It's
is
great,
absolutely
but
ridiculous.
that's ridiculous.
Like
It, who knew
it's
people wanted a Pokemon type game with
no 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 no
other
no no.
on other
Let's be correct.
platforms?
Let's be correct. Let's be
Mm,
correct. Who knew that what people actually wanted was a survival game like Ark,
mm-hmm.
where you capture Pokemon like creatures
Right.
and then put them to work and essentially live in your own fabricated world.
Yeah, look at this.
Like, no, no one could have seen
Freaking
that coming.
servers can't handle it. That's
Freaking
just crazy.
servers. They literally had to hold an emergency meeting with Epic because the Epic couldn't hold the
Oh
server
yeah,
down.
they are there. Server hosting, huh? Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
Mm-hmm.
why they chose Epic when the game was made with Unity, right?
Yes, it was made with Unity. But
That's
Unity and Microsoft, they're partners, but they don't have like a binding contract or anything like that. So,
yeah. I don't think you
like, I,
have
I
to
know
use Azure when you
no,
develop with Unity. Hmm.
no, 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 you don't. No.
So
In fact,
I guess
the
Epic was
last time I
cheaper.
was
I guess.
maybe like the last time I was on Unity, there was no mention of using Azure at all. It was literally a by choice thing. It wasn't something that
Mm-hmm.
you had to do.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, Power Word is breaking the internet. It's breaking records.
Mm.
It's also changing a lot of the dynamic of what a good game should be. Like
Just gonna be fun.
we're seeing, yeah, it's that. I mean, you would think that, right? That would be the common sense play, right?
Simple.
Just make the game fun. Just
Just make it fun.
don't go hard. But then at the same
Fun
time,
with
yet
friends. Fun by
again,
myself. Like
hmm
we're
and
good.
at the same time, though, look at what we have on the other side of the spectrum. We got every single AAA studio or AAA game either
Mm-hmm.
A, barely making it out to market, or
Mm-hmm.
B, costing so much to make that they have to sell tens of millions of units just to break even.
Yo, yeah.
This game only cost $40 million to make. Spider-Man 2 cost 315 million.
Jesus Christ. And didn't even break
315
even, I
million.
don't think.
And didn't even break even. No. It probably won't break even until they release it on
On
PC.
PC or put some sales out there. Mm.
They've already had the first bulk of their sales, because you gotta think about it. Every single game, they get the bulk of their sales within the
Mm.
first week. And then after that, things just continuously taper off.
I see why they
But
bundle their stuff then,
But that's part of the problem, because when they bundle it, they're already selling the console at a loss,
huh? Yeah.
right? They're
At a
already selling
loss,
the
yeah.
console at a loss. But then you bundle the game, so now that console sale then eats into part of the price you would have gotten for that game. When they say break even, they mean like you need to sell this amount of games at full price. So Spider-Man 2 has to sell like 10 million copies at the full $70 to break even.
Then yes, that's not
That
gonna
is
happen.
unsustainable.
That's
That is
not gonna happen.
unsustainable. It's not gonna happen.
Just to break even. Now it's not even profit to,
No, no, we're not
pay
even
your
talking about, oh, we got
developers
some
and
yeah, we're not talking like,
marketing
oh,
and
we got some
stuff.
extra money, we can expand the game. No, no,
Right.
no, no, no. No,
Put
that's just to
towards a
break
new project. Or whatever the
even. And
case
let's
may be.
oof, and we got to get into Spider-Man as well, because that also paints a very grim picture for where things are going
Oh, Spider
um
Man. Good old
in the
Peter
near
Parker.
future. But yeah, Pound World, it's succeeding in a way that is causing people to lose their minds. Poke
Mm.
fans are like, oh my god, these are just Pokemon.
Right.
They're just Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also evidence of Pokemon stealing the designs from Dragon Quest. So can you really say anything like that? And then I can tell you straight from experience, Pokemon isn't original because Digimon came first. Again, it's in the name. It's not even subtle. Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
Digimon,
Right.
seriously?
Right.
So let's not talk about claims of originality. I'm sure the Power World team was wise enough to know, hey, look, if there's any legal team that we don't want to brush heads with,
It's
it's the
Nintendo.
Nintendo legal team.
Yeah,
You
you don't
don't
want
you
to.
don't you don't want to give them a reason
You don't want to deal with
to
that.
investigate you. You don't want to give
You
them
don't
that
want to deal
reason.
with Nintendo. Nintendo will put you in a blender. Quick.
Quickly,
Quick.
with no remorse.
Quick. Would even give a damn. They would throw you in
Wouldn't even
there,
care.
hit the
Wouldn't even care.
button, and walk away.
And walk away.
That's it.
There will not be an auto off. You're just gonna be in there for eternity. Like they will get you. So I'm sure they've done their due diligence to say, okay, look, we want the cutesy art style of Pokemon, but we know we can't get too close. Yes, there's only but so much that we can do with big cats and wolves
Mm-hmm.
and giraffes and all this stuff and llamas and stuff like that.
Right.
But we need to make sure that they are different enough from Pokemon so that we don't have that kind of legal case on our hands.
Yeah.
But that's not enough for the Poke fans. They're still
It's
losing their
not.
minds.
It's not. I guess because nobody's playing Pokemon anymore, or whatever the case may be. I
Isn't
guess
isn't
I
that
don't
sad
know.
though? So Power World was the first game
Um,
that I saw that was Pokemon like
mm-hmm.
and did a better job than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another game, I think it's called Nexocom 3, that has like a Pokemon aesthetic. And people are more excited for that than they ever were for Scarlet and Violet. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon and Game Freak, you guys are like the reigning champs of this
Mm-hmm.
genre.
Yeah.
Are you resting on your
They're the
laurels?
kings of
Do you
it.
just do you think that you could just do no wrong so you don't have to worry about making a good
And
game?
that could be
Get
it,
back on
because
it.
it's like once you stay at the top, there's nobody else there but you. Nobody else is making that kind of genre still, or if they do, they're probably too close to resemble you. So you throw them under the bus and get rid of them because it's probably too close resemblance to their Pokemon. So nobody's
Hmm
really challenging them, but this is the first game that's challenging them, and so far is not in a legal heat with them. I did see Nintendo say they are investigating
Yeah,
the, but I don't think they're in a legal battle with them yet. And I'm pretty
no.
sure when you have made it a week, you know,
If there truly was a legal case to be made that Power World was copying Pokemon,
uh,
they it would
first
have had
day they would have got
it
murdered.
not even it never would have come to
Probably would have never
market.
came to fruition. Yeah, probably would have never
Yeah,
came out.
it never would have came to market. The moment
Hmm.
Nintendo got wind of it and they saw those things, they probably were already investigating and
Hmm.
couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So they had no choice but to let it go. So when I saw that statement from the Pokemon company that said they were going to investigate into unlawful usage of assets, I read that as shut up, you fanboys.
Hmm.
We've seen it. We can't do anything about it.
Yes.
We'll tell you that we're investigating it that you can shut up.
All right.
But there's nothing we can do about it.
Now I beat the crap out of Pokemon Scarlet. It was fun, but you know it had massive issues, and especially
Massive
on the Switch, it
issues.
was just it
Like it was
was
unrunnable.
unrunnable.
I I got the Switch, got Pokemon,
Hmm.
and I'm like, cool. This would be like the first time Pokemon was like, co-op. I'll get to explore Pokemon with my
Co-op.
friends and stuff like that. Yeah, co-op. Yeah,
Hmm.
let's put a big old asterisk on that co-op
Co-op.
because that didn't turn into co-op at all.
Let's play a picnic together.
Yeah, let's have a picnic together. And before someone says, "Oh, but you can do Terror Race together," that's not exactly what we're looking
No,
for.
I'm
That's
not looking. I want to explore the whole world with friends and family or whatever the case may be. Catch Pokemon together, kind of like what you can do in Powers. Do Power and put it in Pokemon, and we're good.
and that's why Power Road is so successful because that's the most important thing. People wanted an MMO Pokemon for
Hmm.
years,
Just do
probably
that,
since the World of
Nintendo.
Warcraft days, if I'm being completely honest. And Nintendo never seized the opportunity that was literally handed to them.
Hmm.
That is a money printing opportunity, and they never seized on it. So now here's Power World. Hey, look, we're going to give you a dedicated server where you, your friends, and whoever might join the server, up to 32 people, I think, on Steam, you all can exist in this world, build bases,
Hmm.
capture these Pokemon-like creatures,
Yeah.
and do what you want with it. It's your world. Do what you want. And people are flocking to it. People are loving it. David Jaffe, the original creator of God of War, he's loving it. It convinced him to love Xbox.
Oh,
Like this
wow.
Power World has that kind of influence. So
Wow. You got him like an Xbox. Ooh.
David Jaffe, like not to say like David Jaffe was like a hardcore Sony stan,
No, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
he's one of the people that's very conscious about what he likes and what he doesn't. And for a while, he didn't really have a reason to like Xbox.
Hmm.
Power World gave him that reason.
Hmm. Damn,
But at the
that's
same time,
crazy.
David Jaffe also doesn't like Kratos, the current
The
Kratos. So
current
I
Kratos,
mean,
yeah. He's the
we don't have to
original
talk about
Kratos.
that.
How the creator of Kratos don't like the current version of Kratos? That's just wild.
But then, um, yeah, like this game, this cute jank as hell game
Mhm.
is absolutely crushing it right
Put
now.
together
I'm
by duct
hoping
tape, but
put
it's
together by duct
but
tape.
it's
I
fun.
mean, like you want to talk about duct tape.
Hmm.
This was not a game that was made by industry experts. Like
Hmm.
they brought in people who were fresh grads
Right.
to work on the
Mm.
game. And this is
Newbies.
what they came out with. Newbies. 2 years,
Hmm.
$40 million. And this is what they came out with. And look at what it's doing.
Yeah. Mhm.
You don't need to put a crap ton of money into your game.
You
Just
don't
make it
need
fun.
and with very little marketing.
Very little marketing.
Because
I didn't know this game was
I
coming out until the
didn't.
week
Yeah,
before it came out.
exactly. I didn't know at all until I saw it. Oh, Power coming on Game Pass. I'm like, okay, all right, well, whatever.
Maybe it is. I think I don't know.
Okay, cool. But
But then
holy,
my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I want Pokemon with guns." I'm like, "Really? That's what you're looking forward to?" So then
hmm,
I checked it out. Oh, this could be fun
this could be
actually.
fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now that we touched on the whole guns aspect, there's something else that came about as a result of Power World. So people have also been freaking out because uh, they're claiming that Power World is inhumane and is encouraging people to conduct inhumane actions like kidnapping humans and putting them to work and putting in pals in sweatshops. It's
We have a game called Grand Theft Auto that is this. which you can do
Seriously,
a zillion times
seriously,
things worse in there.
seriously. You can go into a mall and shoot everybody up, and
And
worst
shoot
case scenario,
everybody up.
you got some dumb cops chasing you.
Well,
Like, come on.
and the Call of Duty stage with the airport, no Russian
Yes.
shooting up airport. That's still. I
Like,
mean, it's
come,
probably banned. I think that part or that game
it's
is
banned.
banned in
It's
some
banned in some.
countries,
Yeah.
but is this? You can go back and play it right now if you have the game or whatever the case may be. You could go back and play that part. But you want to go ahead and talk about
You want to talk about Power World because
Power
it's
Wars.
successful. There are worse things out there.
There are
I just want you to
far
know
worse
there are far worse things
things
out
out
there.
there. Way
But
far worse. Holy
so
smokes.
that was an issue. Another thing that came up, there was a silly outlet called Inside Gaming. I think Inside Gaming IG. They also touched on the inhumane things that were happening, particularly to the pals. Oh, you can kill them and butcher them for food,
Hmm.
and you can also put them in slave camps. I wonder how PETA thinks of this. So this clown, I'm not even going to say his name,
I don't
but this
deserve it.
clown supposedly reached out to PETA about their stance on Pal World. And if this article is to even be believed, PETA responded with, "We've also gotten a numerous amount of complaints regarding Pal World and being able to eat them. Vegans want a game where they don't have to
Oh
eat
my
the animals.
god. Stop.
They want to live healthy and respect animals in their actual lives and in the game worlds that they play in. It is Veganuary after all."
They are doing their best to try to stop this game from
This,
being
the sad part
successful.
is, I don't even believe that PETA actually put out a
I'm
statement on
sure
it.
they didn't.
Because
Yeah.
if they had, we would have seen it on Twitter. We wouldn't have seen it on some random gaming outlet. We wouldn't have seen it there. We would have seen it on Twitter. PETA would have said something about Power World. So I don't think that this dude actually reached out to PETA to get a response. But just the idea of it is, it's bonkers. It is absolutely insane.
I think just that's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry. You try to get Peter, you contact Nintendo. Hey, Nintendo, look at this. Hey, Peter, look at this.
Please
Stop him.
investigate them.
Please investigate them. Huh? Let them
It's
have
it's
their
hard.
fun. The game is a game. It's a video
It's
game.
There are worse things in the world. There are worse things in the
Once
world.
again, if you have this game called Grand Theft Auto out exists and you didn't say nothing about that, why you didn't call the FBI or CIA or something? I don't know who you would call. Oh, they're murdering people in this game.
I mean, hell, in Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2, you would get points for running a car.
And then Elon said something. Oh, the first 5 minutes of the game, they're shooting cops.
Oh
I
yeah,
couldn't.
they're shooting cops, and
I couldn't. I
could
couldn't do
not.
it.
I just couldn't do it.
All right. So, like, really?
Like, boy, if you don't shut your
It's
ass
a
up,
video game. Like,
it's a
why
video
are
game.
you?
Cool
You
out.
see, and this is one of the reasons why I got into video games back then. Was to escape reality.
Yeah,
You have a long day of school or whatever the case may be back then, and even now you have people who go to school, people who work or whatever the case may be, family. You can escape reality, have fun with your friends, or have fun just by yourself. Enjoy somebody's creative idea with their story, their the fun, whatever activities you got for it. You sit there and enjoy it. You have fun. But I'm not bringing my real world life, real world background into a video game that somebody sat behind a PC to make and say, "Oh, I think people are gonna like this. Let's just put this little furry little cat here and do a fireball on there." Nobody's gonna call Peter because this cat is shooting fire out of his mouth. I don't think that person was thinking about that when he created that.
no,
Let's not bring real life into a video game. It's a video game for a reason. This you can do stuff that you can't do or shouldn't do in real life. This is why we watch movies. We watch these different
live in that fantasy.
live in the fantasy, Marvel
Live in the
movies,
fantasy.
Denzel movies, or whatever the case may be. All these different movies to enjoy the action, something that can't be done in real life, or once again
Yeah,
shouldn't be done in real life. You
yeah.
know, And then you go
Like,
leave the movies and you go home like, oh, that was a great movie, babe. And they're like, yeah, that was great. And then you go to sleep
and
and do
that's it.
whatever. That's it.
That's it. That's the end of it. Like, no one is trying to like be Thanos, right?
Hmm.
No one has fantasies of being Thanos.
Thanos was right,
But
by the way.
when you play a game, you can do that. You can live out that fantasy. That's okay.
Hmm.
Just keep it there. You know, like don't like just as we're saying, don't bring real life into these fantasy world. Don't bring that fantasy world into your real life.
Hmm.
It's not hard to make these distinctions, but people are taking it too far. But the ultimate thing about it, no one cares about morals. No one cares about anything like that. What they
Yeah.
care about is, I don't like this game because this game is a threat to the things that I like.
Hmm.
Thus, I need to take it down.
Right.
That's all it's about. Because the PlayStation people are going crazy. Oh, this game wouldn't have survived if it wasn't on Steam. Don't think this is a win for Xbox. Sir, there are at least 1.5 million people
Hmm.
on Game Pass
Right.
that are playing this game.
Oh yeah.
And the only reason that number isn't higher is because right now the Steam version is superior to the Game Pass version.
Very superior.
Like,
It's Steam,
they're-
but
like the Game Pass version is 2 patches behind the Steam version.
mm,
There are features that are missing or just not currently implemented yet on the Game Pass version that are on their way, and Microsoft is trying to assist them with that certification process.
hmm hopefully that gets
But you know
done
what?
quick. But
But even still, 1.5 million added on to the 8 million.
right.
And we're still not talking about the people who actually bought the game on
Yeah.
Xbox, because you still
Yeah,
have that
because
option.
people can buy. Yeah, you can buy that.
You can still buy it.
You
You
can
can
buy
still
that.
buy it on you can still buy it through the Game Pass app on Xbox. You can still buy it through the Game Pass app on PC.
Hmm.
Those sales aren't even counted in, and we don't know how many people bought it on the Epic Game Store.
Hmm.
So
I don't think it's
that's
on
a
it.
lot
Is
of
it on the
different-
Epic Game
It
Store?
is.
Oh, it
It is on the
is.
Epic Game Store. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is on there.
What?
So that's
Oh
4
yeah, I would
different
hope so.
places
They
where it
they
could be bought.
carrying the damn. No,
Yeah,
if
they're
it's
carrying
on
the service.
Steam, no. If it's on Steam, I don't think it'd be on Epic Game Store. Oh,
You
yeah,
wouldn't think, but it is.
Huh. Okay. That's crazy.
So that's 4 different platforms where you can buy the game, and one of them you can play if you have a subscription.
Hmm.
So this game would have done well regardless.
Hmm.
This game would have done well regardless. So it's another one of the situations where Xbox saw something. They saw that they had potential. They
Hmm.
said, "Hey, look, let's get this on our platform. Let's get this on our ecosystem."
Yeah.
And it's paying off.
It's
Now,
definitely paying off.
It's absolutely paying off.
Because
Like, if
this is
somebody
what the
has
number one game on PC Game Pass and maybe console Game Pass
it's
also.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
number 1 on PC Game Pass. I think it's like number 2 on console Game Pass. I have to check that again. But it's definitely topping both sides of the Xbox charts.
Mhm.
It beat Counter-Strike CS:GO
Oh
on
yeah, for its
Steam for top
concurrent.
concurrent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy,
The only
Jesus.
game it hasn't beaten is
Counter-Strike?
PUBG. Yeah, the only game it hasn't beaten is PUBG, and I don't even know if that has changed since we last looked at it,
But
and that was like 2
Counter-Strike,
days ago.
dude, that's like one of the
Counter-Strike,
like that
one of the
game
top FPS
stays
games.
concurrent.
Yes, yes.
Well, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning. That game would still be a top concurrent. It's just Counter-Strike.
It's Counter-Strike. You can't touch that. But Power World touched it.
Counter-Strike. like,
Like, can you even fathom it?
I
Can you even
can't.
fathom it?
Counter-Strike though. That's wow.
Like even as I look at it right now, Power World is the number 1 top seller on Steam. Number 1 top seller.
That is wow. I can't believe that. This is Counter-Strike though. Like, okay, all right. Well, yeah, that's a hell of a game then, I guess. If it's
Hell of a game.
so
Hell of a game.
okay, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oof.
Mm.
Mm.
What's that, man? What's that you doing that there? Hmm? What's the Oh no.
Look at the peak players. Look at the peak players.
Wow. Look at the hours played.
Hours
It's
played. It's
almost
only
coming
been
up
out for a
to
week.
Counter-Strike. What? Holy moly.
Yo, this shit doing numbers.
Yo.
Stop.
Wow. Yeah,
Stop.
somebody at Xbox was like, yo,
So here are the
yeah,
top
we need
records. So
power now on Game Pass. Like, what?
and then look at the top records. So it hasn't beaten PUBG in
No, it
peak
hasn't. And
players.
peak players, yeah.
No,
3
not peak.
million. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised PUBG got that many, but that was also during the time when battle royales were like fresh
Yeah,
on the
that
scene.
was
Everyone was
fresh.
trying to get on
I
it.
think that's the second or the first one of the two. First 0.5 battle
Hmm.
royales, I guess. But yeah. So I guess it's like the OG of it, but
Just the thought of it, bro. Just the thought of it.
you know,
I can't.
I might go back to PUBG, but you know.
I don't know. I don't know if I can go that route.
I don't
I don't
know.
know if I can go back to that
If I
because
see
well,
3 millions of people are still playing it after all these years, maybe they gotten better. I don't know. I don't know.
maybe, but I'm still gonna. I don't know. I think Apex Legends got me up. Got me
Yeah,
burnt off.
Apex and I got
You
Warzone.
got
Yeah,
Warzone
I got
too.
it's too
So
many
too many,
battle
too many,
royales for me to learn and yeah.
too many.
Dang. That's crazy. Counter
But
Strike?
Counter Strike, bro. Counter Strike.
Mm.
So Pocket Pair deserve all the credit that they've gotten thus
They're doing
far
great. Good job,
because
Pocket Pair.
yeah, absolutely. Because no one saw this coming. No one thought they was gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
and then here it is. Like people are praying that this is just a fad and it falls. I don't think it.
Nah.
I don't think it's a fad. They already have a roadmap of things that they're bringing into the
They got
game.
more
And
roadmaps than Sony's console. I'm sorry. I'm
oh,
sorry. I didn't mean to say. Yes, I did. I didn't mean to say
mm,
that. They have a better roadmap than the freaking console. That's crazy.
mm. Nah,
Truth hurts.
nah.
Huh?
You apologize.
Apologize to
Apologize.
who? Sony?
You right.
Yeah, Sony can get the hell up out of here. Give me some games, Sony, that I can play with other people and not just swing around the city and do the same thing over and over and chase cats and birds and
Mm.
and what's that stupid little that girl you had to chase in the first one where she had you doing crazy things. It was a social media thing.
Oh, I don't. Oh, screwball.
Screwball. You
Freaking
know, well, yeah,
screwball.
let's have
Yeah.
fun and do us crazy stuff. Yeah, that's fun. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
No.
Give me some
No.
fun.
But
Give me something
but
I was gonna enjoy for a very long time.
I just like I have a hard time believing it. And like again, I can see the appeal
Hmm.
because I know exactly what they were going for. But
Yeah,
even still, it's just like they did that.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Years setting the world on fire with that. That's ridiculous.
Setting the world on fire. Like you've literally said to people, "Hey, look, we don't care about what you think you want. This is what you want."
And if you're doing this now and you're just gonna keep updating it to add
yeah,
more stuff to it,
we're still in early access.
yeah,
We're still in early access.
we don't even
And
have
then
crossplay yet. Oh, God.
no, no. Wait until there's Steam to Xbox crossplay.
Jesus Christ.
So
Yeah, give them a blank check. Actually send them some help to
I
help
mean,
speed this stuff.
they've already got the blank
Oh
check
yeah, the
essentially,
blank check
because
is
because
just great on their own.
that's yeah, because that's the nature of how Game Pass works. Like, like developers and publishers don't go to Microsoft and say, "Hey, look, we want our game on Game Pass. Here's what we're willing to pay." No, no, no,
Hmm.
no, no. Xbox goes to the developers and publishers and says, "Hey, we would like your games on Game Pass.
Right.
Let's make a deal and let's see if we can come to an
And again,
agreement
yeah, and
where
it could
both
be
parties are happy."
different kind of deals. Like you can pay the development cost of it, or
Yeah.
pay a portion of it just to keep it on a month or two or however long
Mm-hmm.
on Game Pass. So,
Yeah, because I think at least a few million went to Power World to get that game on Game Pass.
mm,
So that eats into some of the development costs that Power
that
World
yeah,
had incurred,
that paid half of the studio's salary just there alone.
just like that, just like
Mm.
that. So, m- man, whoever sniffed this out, give that person a
Oh
raise.
yeah, give him a
Give them a
raise. Give
raise
him a
because
raise.
this is a hell of a find.
Promotion. That was a good one. That was a real good one. And I mean, it's the best deal in gaming, man. Let's cut the crap.
Yeah,
It's the best
let's
deal
be
in
real.
gaming. Let's be real here. Let's go ahead and then let's talk about that real quick. You know, what I mean, you have Game Pass. Well, you don't even have to purchase a console for it. Just get Game Pass Ultimate. Right? You go ahead and play on your laptop, on your tablets and your whatnots, on your cell phone. You could just play cloud streaming via the Game Pass. And hell, to be honest, I will want my whatever game that you have interest in. I will want it to be on Game Pass because you get a
Mhm.
discount of it, even if you do want to go ahead and buy it. You know, because you can still buy games that's on Game Pass. You don't
Right.
just have to get Game Pass and that's it. You can still buy the game, but I will want my game on Game Pass just for that discount also or whatever.
Hmm.
Because look, we buy games off a discount and Fanica and all those CD
And instant
keys.
gaming CD keys,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the game and CD keys just for a discount of a game for a PC or a console or whatever. Then hey, why I can't do that for Game Pass if I want a game that I want and I'm interested in, and I can download it for the monthly fee or the yearly whatever subscription, or if I pay for it right then and there. I just get a
Yeah.
10% discount off of it compared to it not being on Game Pass and not getting that 10% discount and not even playing the game. I had to be like old school and look at the trailers 6 times and see. Let me see.
Do I want
Do I
this?
want this?
Do I want to spend money on
Do I
this?
want to spend money on this? And then you spend money on it. It's like it's a piece
Ah,
of shit.
damn.
Like
Now I gotta go on Twitter and talk the best game ever. So all my peeps.
exactly. So nobody. So it looks like I waste my money or nothing. But
No, it absolutely is like the best deal in gaming because you figure it's what was the number? So it was about 120, maybe 140 a year
hmm
for Game Pass.
hmm
For Game Pass Ultimate, right?
hmm
And then you get access to console games as well as PC games under that umbrella, and then you
right,
also get the ability to play the games via
via
cloud,
cloud.
as well as be able to play the games from your mobile device if you choose. Like you can have like like an 8-inch tablet and be able to play your games on the tablet, connect your Xbox controller, whatever controller,
hmm
and you're good to go, right? All you have to do is play three games.
Right.
Three games that would have been normally priced at $60 to $70.
hmm
You're covered for the entire year.
Exactly.
For the entire year, Game Pass has been worth it to you.
hmm
So and through Game Pass, it's allowed us to try games that we typically have tried. Like I'm a huge fan of Mech Warrior, but I
hmm
wouldn't have tried a game like BattleTech because BattleTech is more closer to XCOM,
No, yeah.
and I don't
But
typically play XCOM
you don't play.
games.
Yeah, you don't play XCOM. I love
I don't.
XCOM games, so I probably would have.
Yeah,
But
you would have.
I'm not a mech person either. So
Exactly.
so I
So
wouldn't have
because of
tried
Game
it.
Pass, because of Game Pass, I was able to try it.
Exactly.
No
I
obligation.
wouldn't have
Oh,
bought it
I
if it was.
like it. I like it. So I'm gonna keep playing it. Hell, I bought all the DLCs for BattleTech on Game Pass,
Right.
and I got discounts for those too because the discount works for DLCs.
hmm
Streets of Rage 4. Hey, look, this is the first time we've seen a Streets of Rage game in like 20 years. Maybe it's good,
Yeah,
maybe it's
sure.
not. Game Pass let us try it. Oh, it's really freaking good. I
Yeah.
bought the
You
game.
bought the game. Yeah. Yeah.
I bought it.
I think I bought it off of
Um,
Steam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Origami 2. Another game that
Oh
was just like,
yeah.
who's gonna try this game? Like, unless you already were aware of Origami from back on the Switch days or on the DS days,
hmm
you wouldn't have tried Origami
Yeah.
unless you were like a really big fan of Tenchu and hope that you could see another Tenchu game or
Right.
Tenchu like game.
Which we
So,
destroyed that game. Like
which we
we
absolutely destroyed that game.
destroyed that game.
We absolutely destroyed that game. But if it wasn't for Game Pass, we probably wouldn't have
I
tried
wouldn't
it
have tried it. No.
because we didn't know how solid the concept was.
hmm
But because
No.
of Game Pass, we were able to try it. So for the people who like to say, "Oh, Game Pass is welfare pass," and Game Pass exists so that poor people don't have to worry about buying games,
Poor
let
people.
me tell you something. The money that I save through Game Pass has gone into things that allowed me to game better.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gotten me. It saved me money for controllers,
Yeah.
headsets,
Yeah.
PC upgrades,
PC
my
mics.
Series X.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Just
for
off of
games that
you.
aren't on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like Street Fighter 6 was essentially funded by the money that I saved from not having to
From
buy
not
games on
having
Game
been,
Pass.
yeah, yeah,
Let's just be real.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Mortal Kombat
no,
1, Tekken 8 just came
yep,
out, and
Tekken 8 just came out. Yeah.
that's a crap ton of money I done save from other games, and I just bought Tekken 8. I love the hell out
Yep.
of Tekken 8. It's pretty great.
It's
Pretty
definitely a
fun.
fun game.
It's pretty fun. It's a fun game. Got to get Lin
So,
Chai Yu right, but it's fun.
so Game Pass is one of those things that, and I need people to understand this as well. We're beyond console sales. Okay, let's
Hmm.
just be real. We are beyond console sales. That's not the forefront of the conversation anymore. We are trying to get people into ecosystems. All
Right.
right, we're
Hmm.
trying to get people into families.
Right.
So it's not. And before I even get into that, let's also be real about something else.
Hmm.
No one bought a Sega Genesis because they thought the Sega Genesis was better than the Super Nintendo. They
Hmm.
bought the Sega Genesis because they saw what was on offer on the
Hmm.
Sega Genesis. They saw Sonic the Hedgehog, Streets of Rage,
Hmm.
Shinobi, games like that, and they said, I want a Sega Genesis.
Hmm.
Conversely, people saw Super Mario World, Mario Kart,
Hmm.
Donkey Kong,
Hmm.
F-Zero, and they said, I want a Super Nintendo.
Right.
Games have always
Software.
sold consoles.
Software.
It's
Software.
always been
Software.
about the games. It's never
Hmm.
been about the consoles. So, Game Pass is a way to deliver games that will then get you into the Xbox ecosystem.
Hmm.
And then from there, you might get a console. You might
Hmm.
not.
Might
You
not.
might just play all the games on PC. You have
Hmm.
that. You have
You
that
had the option.
that ability. You
Hmm.
have that option. Versus Sony is still trying to make all their revenue off of console sales,
Hmm.
but they have no way to go forward.
Hmm.
And that's why they're struggling right now because they have no path forward
Yeah.
other than, hey, we need to continue to sell these consoles.
Right.
And now they're talking about doing nonsensical strategies like, oh, we're going to break a game into separate parts and then have people buy each part at $50.
That's not. That's
How is that
ridiculous.
tenable?
I'm not
How
doing
is that
that.
tenable?
I'm not doing that.
And not to mention, and this is something that goes into Helldivers as well. So, really quickly, people are mad at PC gamers because they'll get to play Helldivers and not have to pay for. But
Yeah.
if you want to play Helldivers on PlayStation 5, you need to pay for the online multiplayer servers through PlayStation. So people are mad at PC
Get a
gamers
PC,
because
bro.
they get to play the game for free.
Get a PC, bro.
Okay,
We love it here.
we love it here. Get a PC. But so think about this. Let's say someone says, you know what? I don't pay for multiplayer.
Hmm.
So I just play all my games single player.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's look at Spider-Man 3 and what they had projected for Spider-Man 3 based on that roadmap that was leaked out.
Right.
Remember, they're splitting Spider-Man 3 into 3 separate parts, and that third part is purely a multiplayer component. Purely multiplayer. It could be co-op, it could be versus, it could be something else. So they want you to pay $50 for multiplayer. That's not including the multiplayer service that you would have to pay for.
It's ridiculous,
Who's
man.
who's gonna want
Who
that?
want that, man?
And the unfortunate state of affairs, well, I won't say unfortunate, it's been the state of affairs since the dawn of gaming, not
Hmm.
just video games, but just games in general. Since like Chinese warlords playing Go against each other,
Hmm.
games are better with other people.
Oh yeah.
So
That's just the reality
that's
of it.
that's
Co-op,
that's just the reality. Like
online
who's
co-op, local
who's
co-op.
playing Uno by themselves? Who's playing Uno by themselves? Who's playing Monopoly by themselves? Even if you have Monopoly Plus
Hmm.
on your console and you get to play with the bots, how many times are you gonna be playing with the
With the
bots?
bots. Yeah, the bots are not gonna be that great. You destroy the
Right.
bots, just reverse them a bunch of times, and this is
So
boring. And
so
then it's the competition and to be able to talk junk. I'm not talking junk to a bot. It's a bot. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say, "Oh, reverse you, bot." Nah, I'm not gonna
No.
do that. I'm gonna talk junk to my friends, my boys, my people. Is that, yeah? I just reverse you, bro. What you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. Go ahead and pluck that card. I'm not gonna say that to a bot, especially when we play Halo and somebody had quit and then well, what do we say when we shoot him? Ah, it's a bot.
Oh, it's a bot.
God damn it. Yeah,
Never mind.
never
Never
mind.
mind.
You know,
Never
you
mind.
got
Back to the
16 kills and probably 5 of them for you killed bots.
like
It's
what does
like,
that even
what
say?
does
Come on,
that
bro.
do? It's
Stop it.
like, get out of here.
Stop
Kill the bot.
it.
You don't get that same fun and enjoyment when you're playing against other humans or whatever, and you're going against NPCs. Boring. I want to be able to
Yeah.
talk junk and be able to have fun with friends and family, or the competition of beating my friends and family, so I can talk junk at Thanksgiving. But like, yeah, remember that time I whooped your butt on Street Fighter or whatever? Can't say that to a bot, but
So, all of that to say, first off, um, yes, paying for multiplayer is not great.
no.
Okay.
Mm,
On either platform, I don't care if it's Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, playing for multiplayer across having to pay for everything else that you might pay for as a part of having subscription service,
mm-hmm.
not great. Like even on the Xbox side, there's no reason why someone who's purely a console player not only has to pay for Game Pass, but as a part of them having Game Pass, they don't have multiplayer. That's
Mm-hmm.
awful. All
Right.
right, that needs
Mm-hmm.
that needs to change. But at the same time, the same situation is on PlayStation, and I get it. PlayStation doesn't typically do for multiplayer games,
Mm-hmm.
but they have multiplayer games on their platform. Don't force people to pay for that shit.
Right.
And then on the Nintendo side, I mean, Nintendo's multiplayer infrastructure just needs a complete overhaul. But
Do
don't
they?
have people pay for that either. You know,
The complete overall. Go ahead and get AWS or Amazon's cloud
get
or
something,
get
get
something.
something. Get a freaking unique identifier that doesn't involve like 25 letters and numbers. Let's be
It's
serious
ridiculous.
here.
You want to make life easier, not harder,
Not harder,
and sit
but
here and type all these numbers and letters just to send to your friend just to join. I got time for all that.
and Nintendo's always been behind the curve when it comes to multiplayer
You
functionality.
got to
Then
use your
again,
phone for voice chat or something.
oh man, no, that man, when I tried to play Super Mario 3D World
Oh,
online with friends, oh, we had to join a Discord call. Okay, but I can't hear the game now because I got you guys. What am I
exactly.
supposed to do with that? Oh, well, just turn the game. Okay, but then I have the game
All
mic,
loud
and
in the
then
mic.
you
Yeah,
guys can hear it, and there's no
it's,
winning here.
it's unless you put like a Bluetooth, and then you got to put the Bluetooth here, then you got
You got
the
the
mic over
other one up.
here. So it's like
No,
you got two things. No, I ain't got time for all
no,
that.
no, no. And then like Splatoon, I believe like you have to do online voice chat through the Nintendo app on your phone
That's a bit
because
much,
they
man.
have no solution for just a headset with a mic.
That's a bit
You
much,
can
man.
connect Bluetooth headsets to your Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You can plug them in too. There's an audio jack for that,
All right.
but there's no mic support. So what are we doing here?
What are we doing,
Like this mic stuff ain't hard. It's not hard.
man?
Having in-game audio is not hard. We've been doing it since Xbox Live in 2002. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know what the hell PlayStation is doing with the freaking mic being like in the controller.
In the controller.
Stop it. Stop it.
No.
This ain't funny anymore. This is not funny
Where
anymore.
is it? Where is?
Like
Let me
I'm
pull it up.
watching people play PlayStation games and I hear the in-game audio coming out of the
Let me pull
controller
it up.
and they
Why?
have to they have to hold the controller
Why
up
is
to
that
their
there?
mouth and speak into it.
Why is that there?
No.
Why? Why?
Why?
Why? Why?
Why? Why?
What is
How
the
does that make
purpose of
sense?
this? What
Who
is the
wanted
purpose
that?
of this?
Who wanted that?
Oh, I can blow into my controller. Yeah, I'm be.
Could you? What is it? We're blowing
They try to do
Nintendo
Nintendo
cartridges
cartridge
now?
days. Like, come on, man. I ain't got time for
Ridiculous.
all that.
Ridiculous.
My dog looking at me crazy.
As she
Blowing
should.
into the controller.
As she should. Like, oh my God, what is Dad
What
doing?
is he doing?
He's after the fool now.
What is he doing? Why is he blowing into a controller? Why is he not using the Xbox controller like he always does?
Mm-mm-mm. But it's been crazy. it's going to continue to get crazy, especially with some of the things that's coming up this year.
Mhm.
We
It's only
had the
January.
developer direct. It's only
It's
January. It's
only
only
January.
January, and we got a lot of things coming out within the year.
Only
But
January. That's the crazy part.
we
That's the
got to
crazy
wrap
part
this
about
up.
all of this. Yeah,
That's the
let's
crazy
wrap
part
it
about
up.
all this. We got to wrap this up because just like there's a lot to come from the game side, and it's only January. There's a lot to come from this podcast, and it's only January.
It's
We're going
only
into
January.
February, so definitely make sure that you guys, if you enjoyed it, make sure you follow. And we're going to continue to, keep bringing you content, keep bringing you our perspective on things.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, you can provide a unique perspective compared to what you've already been taking in. We're going to keep ramping up on, the overall presentation and make sure
Mhm.
everything is up to snuff.
Oh yeah.
So keep checking back, keep seeing what we got in store.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add on to it, X, before we hop out of here?
No. Let's just go play some games, man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go
go be
play some
gamers.
games.
I think that's what's
Let's go be
necessary right now.
gamers, man.
Let's go be gamers.
All right,
All right, y'all.
peoples.